Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Walking Dead series by The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 1, Episode 1, entitled Old Acquaintances. This is the newest spin-off of The Walking Dead. It was written by Ellie Jorn, who has worked on The Walking Dead, Wilford, and Dummies. Dummies I kind of want to see. It was a show with Anna Kendrick, and she dates her boyfriend's sex doll. At least that's the synopsis I got. Yeah. Or she hangs out with her boyfriend's sex doll. I'm like, how did I miss this show? But it came out in 2020.
You said sex doll.
Yeah, it's her boyfriend's sex doll, and I guess she becomes friends with it. I don't know. That's the synopsis of what the show Dummies said online, so I'm going to check it out. It looks like it was a one season, one and done. And then it was directed by Lauren Giaconoli. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Who has worked on several episodes of The Walking Dead, The Walking Dead World Beyond, Animal Kingdom. We watched a few episodes of Animal Kingdom. It's pretty good. And Shameless, which I was a big fan of Shameless back in the day. So,
you were.
What did you think of the overall episode, Gary?
I think I'm going to like it here. I loved this episode. I loved everything about it. We're going to be in New York City, Manhattan.
Yeah.
And, besides the walkers and everything, this actually makes sense. This episode, this show, this series is really making sense. There's some things there that, I would change out. There's some things I would put in. But for the most part, it makes sense. And I think they have a lot of room to go here. A lot of room.
I agree. I think it's exciting seeing it that's going to be New York City, because it's such a condensed city with so many people. So you can imagine how many walkers are there, and they're all on this small little island. So I can only imagine where it's going to go. Even though now we're 15, 16, maybe even 20 years into the apocalypse, it's going to be a scary place to be at this time. And we already saw that now.
Yeah, definitely. Because we're in New York. I mean, you got to fight rats, walkers, roaches.
A walker rat. Man.
a rat cat. I mean, there's so many things you have to look out for. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of danger, a lot of scare jumps I can see coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing I wish The Walking Dead would have done, is make the animals also get infected. We never seen... I mean, we saw those dogs once, but they weren't walker dogs. They were just probably vicious street dogs that now were hungry when... Sasha killed all those dogs, on the road.
Yeah.
But other zombie shows, such as I think I Am Legend, the dog can turn into a zombie. Black Summer, the animals, I believe, can turn into zombies. So that would be really scary, because if we're talking about New York City and the rat can become a zombie rat, it's that would be freaking scary.
Well, it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fair no matter where you at. I mean... You're not going to outrun a pack of dogs.
Yeah.
A pack of deer, horses.
Deer turning into zombies. Oh, gosh, yeah.
You're not going to outrun, these rapid raccoons,
Yeah.
rapid zombie raccoons,
True.
Squirrels. I mean, it wouldn't be fair then. So, I mean, they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Gary, you really enjoyed this episode, probably more than me. What drew you in? What made you go, this is going to be good?
Once I seen that there was going to be structure. There's a new place in town. It's sort of like our place. It's home, except it's in New Jersey and New York, and that's New Babylon. New Babylon is everything that we wanted to be.
I wouldn't say that.
It is. It's everything that our group wanted to be. New Babylon is just a whole bunch of cities or a whole bunch of areas throughout New York and New Jersey that's protected. They protect each other, they trade with each other, and they have strict laws. Because we seen it going by code this, code that.
Yeah.
Code 14 section, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they actually are putting in place real laws. So if someone come in, like apparently Negan did, come in, raise hell, do this, that, the other, yeah, they're going to get you. It don't matter if you run from, their little area, run from. We see Negan. Well, he was in New Jersey, was he?
I believe so. I don't
so he
know.
He didn't run that far.
Yeah, I didn't know where they started off at. I just know they moved to New York.
Well, I think they were in New Jersey because when we started off, she was looking over the Hudson River, which Jersey City. I mean, we know where she started off at. We don't know how far she had to go back to get Negan, but I'm pretty sure it had to be in the state of New Jersey.
Okay. I wonder how far the marshals follow people. Like, they followed him across the Hudson or whatever, but if he went to California, would they trace him all the way there?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, they're Babylon marshals, so they want to come back with something. But I'm not sure about traveling to the unknown. Because we see Game of Thrones, I'm sorry. I said the right thing. I said Game of Thrones, but Walking Dead is turning into the Game of Thrones. I mean, we're seeing people pop up everywhere. Different communities pop up everywhere. Now we got a new community. So it's like everyone is trying to start over, but trying to start over their own way.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, right now, Babylon is looking like the closest to what we had.
All right.
Now, I know it's scary and people are unsure right now because there's a marshal chasing Negan, one of our people. But I'm pretty sure there's a valid reason. Negan says it's not what they think it is. I'm not sure. I mean, if you know Negan, it's probably everything they said it is. If they say he did it, he done it.
I am curious about what he did, especially because he didn't answer Maggie's question when she said, "Where's your wife and child?" He didn't answer. And he's traveling with this young girl. So I do want to know, did something happen to his wife and child, and that's why he killed whoever he killed? And because he's not telling them what happened, and we know he wouldn't just be on the road without his wife and child. So I'm assuming they're dead, and that's why he did what he did.
Right.
We'll see, though.
Could be.
All right, we're going to keep the same format as we did on the other Walking Dead shows, which is our likes, dislikes, and then I ain't fair and shit, most likely to die. First on our likes list is Maggie's hidden knife in her boot. I thought that was cool. The bar scene when they fight.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool weapon to have.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we seen it work for the bar scene, but not so much for the marshal.
Yeah. The marshal, we'll get to that. I'm not really feeling the marshal, but we'll get to it because I like that actor. I've seen him in a few things. I like him. I just don't like the idea of a marshal, and I don't know. I don't know why I feel weird about it.
I love the idea because this gives me hope that everything is coming back to normal. That we have a group of people that are setting rules together, and this doesn't seem anything like the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth just seemed like killers. They were still capitalists. They were capitalist killers.
Yeah, I have some thoughts of that the same as the marshal for that, but
so this seems a little different to me.
Okay. And then we got Negan saying most of my likes is stuff that Negan said. He made the show. I'm not saying anything wrong with Maggie. It's not that she's just not as funny. She's not funny at all. So Negan gives you that comic relief. And when they're looking at the poster and he goes, "For a wanted man, I look good." I just, quick little Negan saying.
Yeah, they drew him maybe based off a picture in his 20s.
Yeah. It was old school Negan. It was Savior Negan in that picture. It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. A savior took Herschel. Now, this is interesting.
An ex-savior.
An ex-savior took Herschel. We recognized him, but not necessarily as being a savior, right? We just recognize the actor, but we don't remember him from, season 6, season 7, somewhere around there.
No, we don't.
Okay. Negan not caring about the junior marshal's grandma story. When he starts talking about his grandma, he's like, "Yeah, my grandma, she's all..." Negan like, shut that shit up. I don't care. Don't try to make me feel sorry for you. Just be quiet.
Those tricks are not going to work on me.
Right. You know what I've done to people? I don't have no empathy, sympathy. No, it's not happening.
You know what I've done to people, and I know what you've done to people.
Yeah. We're not the same.
No, we're not. Yeah. No, we are the same.
Well, that junior marshal, I don't know if he has the guts. He's dead now, but I don't think he was the same caliber as Negan.
Well, he was on his way.
Yeah.
He was going to be there soon enough.
When Negan said to Maggie, "How many husbands and fathers have you killed?" And then she said, "What you did, you don't ever get to put to bed." I like that conversation because, she's pretty much sticking with, "I'm never going to forgive you. You did some horrible shit." And he kind of tried to throw it back on her, saying "Well, look how many fathers and husbands you've killed. I'm not the only one that's killed a husband and a father." And when she said, we're not ever going to put that shit to bed, it's like, it's forever. I'm going to hate you on this. I really like that conversation because I got what he was saying. But I agree with Maggie. Like, well, I'll never forgive you.
Me personally, I didn't like the conversation. I loved his part of the conversation, but I don't like Maggie playing victim. We've seen the season end with Maggie and Negan working together, Maggie thanking Negan. So you wouldn't think, well, she did tell him that you've done a good thing. I see what you're doing. It seems like you're a part of the group, but I will never forgive you. She said that, but I mean, she was softer. Everything was softer. Her tone was softer toward him toward the end. Mm-hmm. You know, when she came back, she was upset. Of course. I mean, anybody would be upset. The guy who killed, you know, my husband and killed a couple of more members of it is now hanging with the group. Yeah, that's a bad look.
Right.
But it seems like she put it to bed when we left off. Again, towards him, especially when she needed his help. Why is this anger? Why did you reignite this anger like this strong toward him? And he mentioned it. He said, hey, I see, I mean, something reunited. He didn't say that word, but he said something close to it. Something reunited your anger. I wonder what that is.
I believe it's because the fact that a savior, she heard the whistle, so she knows a savior took her son.
So you like she was triggered.
Yes, a savior killed her husband. It's all coming back. It's like she started to forgive, and then she just remembered all the shit that the saviors did, more than just killing Glenn and Abraham. Like, they tortured Daryl. They did some horrible shit. A
lot of shit.
So,
a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, I think the kidnapping of Herschel reunited.
Okay.
Yeah, that. The walkers falling from the sky. When Negan was like, seriously? Walkers are falling from the sky now? That was creepy. That was crazy. And at first I was like, how? What is going on? And you're like, the walkers were probably like in a zone. And then once they heard noise, they just started walking.
Yeah, they probably were stagnant.
Yeah.
I forgot what they call them, but they were probably asleep.
Yeah, and just probably walking in a circle. And then when they heard something, they walked towards the sound.
Right.
Yeah, and then they just fall. Which
we've seen it happen before, that the walkers were not in the subway when they were going to the Commonwealth. Even in the water, the toxic waters or whatever, when they had all those toxic barrels, I guess from the navies or the army, whatever, in the water. I mean, we've seen walkers stagnant before. Look like they're asleep, not moving, until they hear something that gets close to them. And then they come out of there, whatever they're in, the zone they're in, and just go toward it.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new.
I believe also Alpha's daughter, I can't think of her name right now, but I believe her and Carol had worked together one time, and they like led the walkers to a cliff, and the walkers just kept walking over the cliff.
Right.
So we've seen it done before. The bugs at the trash can in the trash. We were just talking about what if animals can be infected. Imagine those bugs being infected.
I want to say it wouldn't be fair, but in reality, do a bug have to be infected?
No, it's a bug.
It's a bug.
And it was gross. And they were all calm. Like, Maggie's all wiping it off. Like, oh, okay, there's one. I'm like, man, I would have been freaking out.
Yeah, while we were watching it, I looked at Nicole. I said, Nicole, I would have had to take you out right there.
Yeah.
Because you would have started screaming, had to... Yeah. Would have brought all the attention to us.
I would have gave our place away.
Brought walkers to us. No.
Yeah, it definitely would have happened.
But that's most women. You know, women, they take showers in fire in a pit of hell.
Yeah.
You know, they give birth to human beings.
But when it comes to bugs, nah.
Nah, that's where they draw the line.
Now this next this is actually my last and it's a like, but then it comes up later as a dislike. But the sneaky walker... The one that almost killed, was it Maggie? And the worm, he had a worm tongue. There was something coming out of his mouth.
It worms fell out of his mouth.
It was crazy.
Worms,
it was creepy.
Slop.
Yes. And
everything.
He was all on top of her and just, it was just gross.
Which, I like that walker.
Yeah, I did. I did too.
It was more realistic.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about, these are still dead things walking around. Mm-hmm. So it only makes sense that there's worms eating inside of them.
Worms and maggots and all the other stuff. Yeah.
Everything.
Makes sense.
One of mine, and it was a good callback because I was talking shit, all last season or the last season of The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. I was talking shit the whole time about how they kept bringing up the hilltop. we have this place, plus we need the hilltop. And I kept saying, there is no fucking hilltop.
Yeah, the hilltop is burnt. Yeah.
They're intense. I didn't understand why Maggie wanted people to go back to the hilltop. It was demolished. There was nothing there for them. No food. Before that, remember, they couldn't grow on the land. So the soil became ungrowable.
Right.
So one thing I liked about this episode is they brought that back. And she said, we had to leave the hilltop. Her reason for leaving the hilltop didn't match how the series ended. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad they left the hilltop and put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Put the community somewhere else because there was no more hilltop. Her reason to Negan was, yeah, remember you helped burn it down. But I'm thinking in my head, like, hold the fuck up. Y'all tried to go back.
Yeah, y'all went back after that.
Y'all went back after he burned it down. Well, after, what is her name? Alpha burned it down. You went back. You tried to rebuild. You saw that you couldn't. So let's, put the real reason on there. But I'm glad that they moved that because, I got tired of saying it. There is no hilltop.
Yeah.
But now, where is the hilltop?
Right. It wasn't established exactly where they went. We just knew it wasn't where they were previously.
Right. Now, if I was a betting man, which I am, I think the new hilltop is in Jersey.
Okay. It's a possibility. I would say it's somewhere in that region.
The only reason I think that is because she had the wanted paper for Negan. If Babylon is only New York and New Jersey, would he have gone to Virginia to put up wanted posters? Like if he went to Virginia to put up wanted posters to say this guy's wanted, they'd probably look at him like a fool. Like, who the fuck are you?
Was it confirmed that Babylon is only New York and New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay. Then, yeah.
Well, it wasn't confirmed like during the show, but I looked it up after.
Okay.
So I'm thinking the new hilltop is in Jersey just because she had the wanted poster, the wanted paper for Negan. Mm-hmm. Plus the new saviors. I'm calling them new saviors since we call this New Babylon. The new saviors went to the hilltop or the new hilltop to take the group. And I don't think the new saviors, if they're located in Manhattan, I don't think they're going to travel too far. You can't control a group in New Jersey. I'm sorry, in Virginia from Manhattan.
Right.
There's no way. I don't even understand how they think they can control any group around there being on an island with 21 bridges that's gone. Like, you have to get on a boat to go anywhere. Or the tunnel. Because I think New York have like 12 to 15 tunnels.
Okay.
Manhattan. In order to get out, and I'm pretty sure the tunnels are all, we saw buses. So the tunnels have to be all packed up so nobody can get through. If the army, because the military, if they were smart, when they took out the bridges, they would have patched those tunnels up also. And I'm saying that just to say, I know I'm going on long, but I'm saying that just to say that wherever Maggie and the hilltop, it has to be close enough where these guys can get on the boat and go threaten them like, hey, y'all going to start giving us crops. If they go to the hilltop in Virginia, if it's still in Virginia, to get corn and crops, that stuff's going to be gone by the time they get back to Manhattan.
True.
They're going to have to eat that. So they're in Jersey somewhere, maybe New York. I don't know.
Okay.
And then speaking of Manhattan, that brings me to the next which is we found out that the military, in order to get control over this thing, that they burned down all the bridges, tore them down.
I did like that. Yeah.
Right. So
that's how they tried to stop the spread when it originally happened.
Right.
And it made me think of The Last of Us. We just watched that.
Yeah.
And we saw in The Last of Us, they would bomb cities to try to stop the spread.
Yeah.
So here, they're burning the bridges. So, okay, if you're on this island, you got it, then you're stuck. Or if you're on this island, you don't got it, you're still stuck here unless you try to find a way out. So that was interesting detail. I did.
It was a good detail because we finding out when the breakout happened, everybody was unfamiliar, and we see what part they played in New York, the military up there, because we saw what they did in Georgia, which remember they started blocking off communities. Mm-hmm. We see what they did in Virginia, same thing. Had little sections gated up, still looking around. So it's good to know what they did in New York, and plus, from the other Walking Dead, like Fear, we see what happened in New Mexico. We saw what happened in California. Seeing what happened in New York, it's a nice touch.
I agree.
The Croat, That was a big like of my the Xavier. Mm-hmm. The burn on the side of the face, the ear.
The ear, yeah.
So this is letting us know that this is not Negan's friend. Maggie would have got the wrong person.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if he got burned, that means Negan authorized it or was under Negan's authority.
Right.
So, yeah.
Negan or Simon.
Either way, we all
Either way.
Negan. So, yeah, he's definitely not going to be happy to see Negan.
Right.
Or he may bow down because he's...
No,
you know.
it looks like a setup. This whole thing really looks like a setup, which that's the part. And I'll get into that with my dislikes.
Okay, yeah, I'm interested where you're going with that.
But he mentions Negan. He asked Herschel, little Herschel, have you met the man that killed your father?
Okay.
So I don't understand why I ask Herschel Negan questions, or how do you even know who Herschel is to ask him Negan questions and to know this? So you had to be a part of the Negan Knights, the Saviors during that time period, to know that this is Maggie, this is Maggie's son.
Yep.
And what we did to him.
All right, you guys, before we get into our dislikes, I want to make a little announcement. I have started a new podcast. It's called Small Screen Sagas. Currently, I'm covering the show it's an MGM Plus show. It's also on Amazon Prime. Mystery, thriller, horror. If you were a fan of Lost, then you would love this show. So definitely check out my podcast, Small Screen Sagas. Look it up wherever you get your podcasts at and support me. And I may even post the final episode on all the feeds that we have. Not sure, but Gary, it's just me, but Gary is going to be joining me, I believe, for the season finale of season 2 coming up this week.
Yes.
Yeah, from. All right, now let's get to our dislikes.
All right, now I'll go ahead and start it off since I brought it up.
Okay.
But this being a setup for Negan. But the Croat asking, hey, have you met the guy who killed your father? That lets me know that he think that they're going to need Negan for help. It seems like this is a setup. He went through all this just to get Negan back, and I don't like that.
Yeah, if that is the case and it is a setup, I don't like it as well, because why kidnap Herschel? Herschel, that's Negan's the man who killed his father. Why would you ever think that Negan and Maggie would work together to get Herschel? So, if anything, it seems like kidnapping Negan's kid would be the better way of getting Negan to come if you're trying to do a setup. Why Maggie? Why Maggie's kid?
But Negan was unfindable. Negan was on the run.
Yeah, but what's the chances? Like, let me go ahead and kidnap the kid whose father he killed, and maybe somehow the mom will go to him for help. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't
make sense. So I hope they're not going in that direction.
Yeah. Because if he goes,
right.
I'm glad I knew he would get you here. How? Why? So it better be something else.
And if you watch the episode again, right after he talked to Herschel, somebody come in and say he's here or he's on the run. And I'm like, hold up. I thought he was talking to Herschel about Negan. Now he's saying he's on the move. He's on the run.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so he know Negan is there right now.
Right.
But it ended up being another guy, a prisoner they had. We don't know this guy's name yet. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure we'll find out, who was this person? Why was he running? Was he also a savior? Was he part of the community, or was he a prisoner?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have came from another community also that the saviors went to. New saviors.
Yeah. My next dislike, or my first dislike, is why was Maggie on this mission alone? Like, first of all, we last saw her, she was with our people. Now she's not with our people, but whoever her new group is, why is she looking for Herschel on her own? Like, there's nobody else to come and assist. I don't get why she was by herself.
Really, I think this is the smartest move, to be by yourself. I mean, you're not bringing too much attention. You're able to, get further, sneak around.
It's true, but maybe one other person.
And I think she had the one other person in mind. This actually wasn't a deal breaker for me, because if I'm going into the pit of hell, who better to take than someone who I know how to fight and I don't like.
Oh, so you're talking about Negan. I meant before she even gets to Negan, why was she on this, when she gets to the bar and gets in her situation and has to fight, like, why was she by herself from the jump looking for Negan? Seems like she would have had somebody else with her to find Negan first, and then maybe 3 of them go together.
Well, you know, Maggie's Maggie.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
The marshal's monologue and bringing up Glenn's murder, I didn't like that. It was just like, okay, I guess you guys are trying to remind us, but... And then even the flashback scenes of Glenn's murder and Negan, you know, when I think, was it Maggie having a nightmare, whatever the case, it was just too much. But I know
I'm glad you brought that up.
I know I'm not even really talking about that. I'm talking about, but it still ties in because the marshal's monologue and Glenn, and like when he killed that lady, the lady that wouldn't tell, and then she finally tells, and then he still kills her. And I believe in that's when he had that whole monologue about, we're trying to look for the guy. He killed the wife or the husband, and I just didn't like it. It was like, okay.
I'm glad you brought that up because I loved it. That should have been a part of my likes.
Really?
That should have been a part of my likes. I can't believe I missed out on that. I loved how they kept bringing Glenn up. I loved his monologue. I loved that. And this was kind of a dislike because I mentioned it that why was Maggie so mad? We seen her calm down and that. But I still love the fact that she was in Maggie mode, just treating Negan like that. Because there's people that never watched The Walking Dead. If you have never watched an episode of Walking Dead, this episode will catch you up at least on Maggie's part.
I would find that weird if someone decided, I'm going to start on Dead City, not watch any of the Walking Dead stuff.
Well, things get new fans all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, there's a lot of shows that we turn on that people have been fans to for years, and we haven't watched one episode or we watched the first episode. So, I mean, I think they did a very good job of starting this episode off, this first episode, you know, giving them the background of Negan and Maggie. I mean, we know there's a lot more to this than what happened there. We know that Maggie didn't really forgive him. Well, she said she can't forgive him, but she accepted him as being part of the group.
Okay.
So we know that's happened, but it's good that, you know, the people who never seen it before, people that's just tuning in, can see, or people that's been watching like the other Walking Deads, the Fear, what's the other one with the kids?
World Beyond.
You know, get them fans over here and let them know that this is some real beef right here. She's with her enemy. She's with somebody who killed her husband, killed her friends, killed her family.
No snipers in the city. I didn't really like that. Like, we see someone watching them, and I understand it's condensed city. There's a lot of people, big population, but it seems like if someone is running this city, they would have snipers set up throughout, you know, especially where they know people will come off the docks from. And if not snipers, at least watchers. And we did see one lady watching them, but I would have appreciated snipers of some sort.
Well, we already know that Savior is not the type of group. They're not a group that's real militant.
Oh, you're calling this new group Saviors, like Saviors 2.0?
Yeah, I call them new Saviors.
Okay.
I mean, if he was a part of the old Saviors, I'm pretty sure he goes by the same thing. You know, we know they're savages, but we know that they're not real militant.
Yeah.
And plus, I get it. I don't think you need weapons, or you need to waste your weapons or waste snipers or waste resources if you're there in the center of Manhattan, because, I mean, people have to go through some shit to get to you. We seen in the opening scene that there was like mad walkers walking up and down the little bridge or whatever,
True.
The little dock area. So people have to go through a lot of stuff, a lot of rats, a lot of bugs, a lot of trash. And then there's a lot of buildings. Like, the only building the Saviors had to occupy is just one of those buildings. But you have to get to them.
Now, how did the marshals find them so quickly when they were hiding behind the trash cans, and then the walkers are coming towards them, and next thing you hear all these gunshots, and then the marshals are like, boom, and they're inside. Don't let anybody out. Like, what? How did y'all find them so quickly?
That was a big dislike. I'm with you on that one. I call bullshit on that.
It's dark. You don't know if they could have turned left, right, but you just so happily found them like moments after them. Right.
That was just a crazy scene altogether. That whoever wrote, well, we know who the writers were.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this particular writer who finished the episode up or finished writing the episode was the one that came up with this idea. The marshals came in there, guns a-blazing. Mm-hmm. First of all, we know that sound is going to bring more walkers. We know they know there's already somebody or people occupying the city because when they were told, or when he found out they were going to Manhattan, it was the map book.
Right.
When he looked in the map book and found out they were going to Manhattan, the look on his face was priceless. He was like, "Oh, shit." My thing is, why follow them? If you already know they're going to a death trap, you don't need them back that bad.
Right.
You can wait them out. Go
and then
home.
Why go at night? Why wouldn't you be like, okay, they went to Manhattan. Let's regroup. Let's get some more people. Let's go in the day. Or I don't know. Maybe the night is the best time to go.
It's almost like they were looking for Negan so long. They were like, fuck it. We're going to start taking shortcuts. We're not going to be smart about this. We just want them.
Yeah. Now, the walker sneaking up on the junior marshal and Negan. This is the walker I talked about earlier. I think I mentioned it was attacking Maggie. Maybe it was attacking the junior marshal. But I didn't like how this walker was able to sneak so quiet. It wasn't making a sound. Like, the walkers are breathing or making noises at all times. Like, it doesn't know how to be sneaky and sneak quietly up behind them. I'm
tired of these tiptoe walkers.
Yeah. Thank you. Tiptoe walker.
Yeah, I didn't like it during The Walking Dead. I don't like it now.
I agree.
They're in a laundromat, all that plastic.
Yes. Yep.
All that noise to be made.
Yep. It was able to move past all of that and just quietly sneak up on them. Come on.
Especially while everybody was trying to be cool. You know what? I'm not going to give that to him. I was about to say, I guess I could see it because the marshal was talking during this whole situation. So they probably was focused on the marshal. But I'm not giving that to him.
Yeah.
Because they know there was two marshals in that building.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to listen to you. Plus, I'm trying to watch my back. There's not going to be no clumsy ass walker sneaking up on me.
Yeah. And then why didn't Maggie shoot the marshal instead of trying to sneak up on him? Like, she sneaks up on him quietly. Why? Why didn't you just shoot him, Maggie?
Maggie did the smart thing. Maggie did what they should have did. I mean, we see them wasting all these bullets, bringing more people. First of all, you're not only bringing walkers, there's the new saviors here. There's people here also.
True.
So that's what made what the marshal did so stupid, and what Maggie did smarter.
Well, in addition to her just sneaking up on him, she doesn't finish the job. She doesn't kill him, and then she throws his gun that she took from him down on the ground.
Yeah, they throw it right next to him.
Like, you get that in a few minutes when you get up. Like, what?
Like,
Come on.
Yeah, this ain't hide and seek.
Yeah.
I ain't throwing you a gun back and counting 10.
And yes, even though he's a marshal, he is threatening you. He's telling you, yo, you don't tell me what I need to know. It's going to be very bad. Like, he's telling you now he's going to hurt you. He's going to do some bad shit to you. So he's not, like, to me, above, like, oh, the good guy. Like, yeah, he can put whatever title on his name he wants, but he's not a good guy. What other dislikes do you have?
I'm going to go back to what you said is he's not a good guy. I mean, what did Negan say? Negan said, he's not a bad guy, or he said no one is, or everybody is.
Yeah.
I can't remember how he said it, but I think he said, I'm not the bad guy. No one is. Or maybe everyone is.
Yeah.
That's how he said it.
I like that. And it was true.
But I agree with you. Her beating him down, did toss him his gun back.
She didn't toss it back to him, but she just tossed it.
Well, she didn't toss it too far from him either.
Yeah.
It's like she tossed it where she stood up at.
Yeah.
She ran like about 3 feet.
And then tossed it.
Dropped it on the ground and kept moving.
Yeah, that was crazy. But overall, I enjoyed the episode. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it overall. We'll just take it as it comes. I will say that little scene they showed us of the Daryl show, because that's the show we kept saying last season on The Walking Dead. We're like, we're going to cover Negan and Maggie. We don't really know about Daryl.
Right.
Daryl's a fan favorite, but his episodes on The Walking Dead, whenever it's a heavily focused Daryl, it's not usually an exciting episode.
It doesn't translate over to good.
But they did a good, that 5-second clip they showed us of him in the water, and then they said next week, so on the second episode of Dead City, they're going to give us a sneak preview of Daryl's episode. So maybe we'll get like a 30-second or 2-minute clip. This was like a 5 or 10-second clip of him in the water. So, yeah, they're winning us over. We might have our hands full, with the Walking Dead shows.
Yeah.
Now for I Ain't Fearing Shit, Most Likely to Die. Gary, who do you got for I Ain't Fearing Shit this week?
I Ain't Fearing Shit would have to be the Marshals. They're not stopping. They know where he's going. They know he's going through Manhattan. They went in Manhattan to get him, knowing that there's other threats there, a lot of other threats. So these guys, either they're very professional or very stupid. But anyway, they're not fearing shit.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to have to give it I ain't fearing shit to Maggie this week. The fact that she was going on this mission alone, the fact that she had to go to the person she hates the most to help her save the person she loves the most was powerful. Not to mention we didn't talk about it in our likes, but just talking about Maggie, I liked seeing how she was freaking out. Remember at the beginning episode when she's panicking, I'm like, why is she breathing so hard? Nothing even happened. She just moved from one spot to the next. And you're like, she's having a panic attack. Yeah. And I think that's when we also got some flashes there, or at least flashes of Herschel. And seeing what it did to her and seeing how emotionally hard it is for her to do this. And now she's lost Glenn, and now she's so scared she's going to lose, Herschel as well. But she still went and did everything she did this episode. I felt that was like, she's not fearing shit. She's gonna get what she needs to get done.
Okay, I see what you did there. But I think this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna say that's bullshit. I can't give it to Maggie because Maggie did what any mother would do. If you take a mother's child, a mother's gonna go to the end of this earth looking for a child. So not fearing shit, no. Maggie she did what any person would do. She didn't really have a choice. You have to go get your kid back. Now, people who chose to go with her, now that's a choice. That's somebody who ain't fearing shit. But the people who's going after him, that's not fearing shit.
All right.
But Maggie has no. Maggie lost her son. She had to go get her son. If I see Maggie nut up or go crazy or act too scared, I'm gonna call bullshit on it.
All right. Most likely to die. Who do you got?
I can't see them killing off any of the people that we know so far, like Negan, Maggie, the marshal, the Croat. I can't see them killing off any of those people. Who's gonna die the next episode is gonna be a whole bunch of extras. It's gonna be people they bring in just to die.
Yeah, I agree. Unless somehow they take out Herschel, but I feel like Herschel is not going to die. If he were to be killed, it would be towards the end of the season and lead us to the next season if there's going to be a second one. Or it's possible if they do kill Herschel, that will be the big thing for moving forward in the episode, like in the season.
Right. The way Walking Dead is moving, the Walking Dead universe, they're not going to kill Herschel. He's going to be in The Walking Dead 2030.
Yeah. Well, we thought that about Carl, but yeah. All right. So most likely die for me will probably also be an extra.
Right.
But that is all we got this week, you guys. We would love to hear from you. dead@theverdictsend.com. That's dead@theverdictsend.com. You can also send us feedback on Twitter @theverdictsend or facebook.com/verdictsend. You will notice our Facebook page has kind of slightly been taken over by my small screen sagas. Pictures and stuff, but it is still a Verdict Send page. Send us feedback there. We would love to hear from you. Until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.